It's chasu. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright, so as you have seen, my phone home screens have never really looked the best. I wanted to wait until iOS 16 to make any little adjustments to my home screen and lock screen, but we finally have it, and I set up a new home screen and lock screen. It took roughly about 30 to 45 minutes to set everything up, and to be honest, I got it to looking to a point where I like it. But yeah, we got it all set up, and today we're gonna run through my basically minimal setup for my home screen and lock screen. Let's go. Alright, so before we get started, I just wanted to mention two things. First off, this video is heavily, down to the second almost, inspired by Kai Notebook. And two, I just wanted to show off what my original lock screen looked like before I ended up starting the whole iOS changing up my little lock screen type stuff. Something that's really cool is that you can actually swipe between different lock screens. So if you're a massive player with a bunch of shotties, then you could definitely do some tricks. You don't see me having to do that. But yeah, essentially all my old lock screen did was show off the weather and the time, which, to give my past self some credit, is probably two of the most important things you should know when starting your day. All right, let's get to the rice and meat of this video. So this is the new lock screen. As you can see, we made it look a lot prettier. I added a messenger little widget because out of all the options they offered, I felt like messenger was the best, because messenger is how I talk to my fellow Pinoys. And then also weather, you already heard me go on my tangent about the weather and the time, but I also changed the time to a font that honestly fit the vibe of this whole wallpaper a bit more. Here's all the options that you actually can use, at least for me, when it comes to these widgets. It depends on you, how many apps you got, but for me, this is all the options I had, and Messenger just made the most sense. And now let's look at my home screen. Now the first thing I have on my home screen is actually 3 different widgets. The first one is Tick Tick. It basically shows my to-do list. And then second, we got a more in-depth weather widget. It shows me essentially like what it's gonna look like throughout the day, which is pretty useful. And then third, we got the calendar. Now, I don't really utilize the calendar app. I'll usually just use Notion, or I'll write down any events in my notes. Probably should start using the calendar app, especially on birthdays. All right, and now let's go to the next little swipe page thing. Yeah, so this is my little productivity area. I wanted to incorporate all the things that I'll utilize when it comes to school or exercise. So first thing, as you can see, is the same Tick Tick widget, just keeping on reminding me the task that I have to do for the day. And then next, as you can see, is my Notion widget, which leads to my little productivity dashboard in my Notion. And then the final widget on this little page is my workout widget, Heavy. Heavy is something that I saw in the Kai Notebook video, and it's honestly been really clutch because I've been able to write down all my workout routines, which makes it way easier to track. I used to track on Notion in my notes app, so this thing just makes it a lot easier when it comes to helping me progressively overload. Then there's the 4 main apps that I'll probably use in terms of like productivity and working out. First up is my Google Drive. My Google Drive is how I upload my documents from my phone to my computer, because I use the Notes app to scan my assignments. And next is my Outlook. Now, a tip that my brother told me is actually to put your school email on your phone, because man, the amount of times I've almost missed an assignment but didn't, it's really been clutch. So be sure to do that if you have a college class. Then we got Spotify. I'm always on Spotify when it comes to working, so it's just nice to have it everywhere. And then the Anki app. Now this Anki app I've actually not used before, but I use Anki a lot on my computer. I stopped using Quizlet because they made everything pay to use, which sucks. Oh, Quizlet. But yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out this Anki app. We'll figure it out sooner or later. So in this next one, we have my entertainment. Now, one thing I wanted to stand out was my screen time, because to be honest, over this past whole gap semester, my screen time has been atrocious. So I put it there to remind myself, hey man, try not to use your phone 9 hours a day. We have a Spotify widget, which I think is really cool because it shows your most recently listened. We got YouTube and TikTok, which is my main forms of entertainment. And then we got a folder with all my social medias. As you've probably already seen, at the bottom of everything is Notion and Safari, which are like the cornerstones of this entire setup. I'm always on Notion. It just is how I stay organized in my day. And Safari is a search engine. Like, that's how you access the internet. But yeah, that's essentially everything when it comes to my setup. Now, here's a little thing. I'm doing a voiceover right now, and I'm too lazy to re-record this little thing. But here's all the apps that I use, recorded through my camera mic.
First off, we have Safari, obviously. It's how I access the internet. Next is settings, because I always check how much data is on my phone, because I use this phone to film videos, so it's nice to know how much gigabytes I have left. Photos, obviously, and the App Store, which I wish was like the Google Play Store more. The Socials tab, have Be Real, because I'm a social media addict. GroupMe, in case I need to do college stuff. Messenger, because Pinoy's phone, call people. Instagram, I need Clout. Discord, how I communicate with some friends. Facebook, because I'm Pinoy. Snapchat, in case I want to get some girls' snaps, but my phone has been dry. Live 360, FaceTime, to FaceTime people, obviously. Messages, that's how I text people. And TikTok, which I was really active on before, but not so much anymore. Alright, switching gears. Entertainment. In entertainment, I have Amazon Music. Now, I used to use it a lot before, but now I just use Spotify. AMC Theaters, in case I want to watch a movie. Font Changer, because I like typing in little typewriters in my Instagram bio, which you should definitely go follow. Guitar Tuna, because it helps me tune my guitar. I don't really use the iTunes Store or Meme Creator. I might delete that right now, to be honest. Apple Music, which I don't really use. I use Spotify, like I said. Netflix, Nintendo Switch Online, but I sold my Switch, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And the rest of these apps I don't really use. I use guitar tabs on like Safari, in case I just can't figure out a song, but usually I'll just play by ear at this point. And YouTube, which, you know what YouTube is. Utilities, first off, we got the App Store, obviously. Calculator, but I mainly just use Photomath. Clock, because I set a timer for before I go to bed, so my phone turns off. Find my iPhone, that's how we track like all the phones in my family. Apple Support, so I can see the battery health, because I've been using this one way too much while charging. And voice memos, which is how I record my voiceovers. Alright, next in creativity, we got simple apps, camera, filming my videos, CapCut, which I use to remove the background on some things so I can edit faster. Photos, Twitch, I used to be really into streaming, so watching streams, but not so much. And YouTube Studio, which is honestly coming in clutch when it comes to checking my videos on YouTube, because I've been posting on here way more. Productivity, calendar, already mentioned contacts, where all your contacts are. Drive, mentioned already. Files, that's where all your Apple files go. Gmail, which is basically what I use in case Outlook doesn't work. Mail, I just don't use this app, as you can see by the notifications. Notes, which I used to use a lot before I downloaded Notion, which is honestly the goat of this video. Widgetsmith, which is how you added widgets before like all these widget updates came out. TikTok and Outlook you already know about. Games, I'm heavily addicted to Dokkan Battle. Like, let me just show off my box real quick. Like, just look at that box. Look at all those units. Like, God, I love this game. Free to play for life. And also Clash Royale, which I'll sometimes play in case I feel like playing with my basketball coach. He's the one that got me into that. Shout out to you, Coach Trevor. We got the Bible, so that I can stay holy in the weather. And then we have all my finance apps. Student aid, even though they won't give me a dime, which sucks, because now I'm going to the Philippines in order to study for a lower price, because American tuition is kind of insane. Think of America, because that's just my bank, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. You don't get that, so you can send me money. Chronometer, which I downloaded recently to track my calories. Now, I haven't really been tracking lately, but when I do, it'll come in clutch. And then all my shopping apps, AliExpress, Amazon. I really wanted to become a dasher, but they were full, so that's why it's not really loaded in anymore. eBay, McDonald's, OfferUp, Sneakers, and Uniqlo. I have OfferUp and eBay on there in case I find a good deal on a camera. And then we got the Maps app, Google Maps, Ecobee, which is how we like change my air in my house. And also this gas app, which helps me see the gas prices in my town, which is really clutch. And we got some education apps, you already know Anki. Desmos and Photomath are my clutches when it comes to pre-calc. Quizlet, don't really use anymore because of them becoming pay to use, which sucks. Reminds, which some of my teachers have used in the past, so I just have it on there. And Socratic, in case I want to cheat. Just kidding, guys, I don't cheat. I don't cheat at all. I just use this app and homework. Dual Mobile, because my old junior acquired that before I dropped out. Indeed, in case I want to look for a job. These two things I used for like my church before, but not really anymore. Same with Slack, but I'm sure it'll probably be used when I have a job. Same with Zoom.
Oh my god. And yeah, that's about all it in my phone. That's all the apps that I have. And yeah. But yeah, that's essentially it. It's so hot in this room. Hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in a little tutorial on how I did all this, let me know. But you could probably figure it out on your own. But if you want one, I'll make one. Just let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I gotta get out of this room because it's way too hot. I'm sweating my balls off.